Okay, sorry. Now let us go ahead and find out how to find out any duplicate records are there in a table. First, we will find out are there any duplicate records in a data set, and then we will see how we can remove those duplicate records in the table. Okay. So for that, what I do is there are a couple of approaches are available. What I am going to do is I'm going to use in the interest of time, the employee 3 table. What I will do is instead of create using the create table syntax, I just drop this table. I'm going to insert some data here. Okay, employee. Sorry, I'm going to create a new table. And then next, what I do is I just go ahead and insert the data into this table, employee 3. Look here, ID. And but here what I am inserting is first name, last name, country only. First name is Rajesh, second name is Kumar, and third name is India. Sorry, the third one is country column. But here, the first column ID, I did not insert anything here. I did not give any value here because ID column is defined as an identity. The moment when I insert the values for these 3 columns automatically, or if I insert any record into this table, automatically the ID will get generated, insert into this employee 3 table. So now we will go and check my statement, whether my statement is correct or not. Select star from employee 3. Yes, look here, the ID column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 got generated automatically. Did I insert any value for this column ID? Nothing, right? I inserted the values for the first name as Rajesh and this last name as Kumar and third name as the third one is country. I did not insert any value for the ID because you don't have to insert any values explicitly because ID column is defined with the identity. It's kind of a sequential number. It generates a sequential number on our behalf behind the scene. We don't have to do that. Okay, fine. I inserted these records. And can you see any duplicate records here? Yes, we can see the duplicate records here. You can see that the Rakesh Kumar India is there. See, at times what happens is, I'll explain the scenario here. At times what will happen is, yes, using the ID column, the ID is the primary key column. Using the primary key column, you can uniquely identify the row. Fine. But what happened due to, what do you say, due to mistaken, right? Due to mistake, what they did, they created the, for the same person, they created another primary key column. Using the primary key column, see, if you, for the same person, if you generate the ID as 1, and if you try to insert it, it will throw an error because you have created the primary key for this column ID. But in my case, yes, fine, I have created the primary key on the ID column. Hence, ID is a primary key column. It can accept only unique value. Everything is fine. But what happens is mistakenly, Rajesh Kumar, for this guy, right? The same guy, we have created another primary key column, but still it will work. Still it will work. Okay. And for example, if you see Sundar Divya, first name is Sundar and last name is Divya or Divyan or something like that. Okay. And the countries are same, but for the same person, 3 different ID got created. For same person, more than one employee ID got created. We need to check. Okay. So you have created the table and you find the foreign key, primary key, everything. But that doesn't mean your data is accurate. You need to validate whether you have any duplicate record. You might be arguing this, and yes, the same person will have the same first name, last name in India. Many people will have the Rajesh Kumar name in India. So how can you say it's a duplicate? Okay. And still, what you do is we will go and check it. Okay. And let's say Rajesh Kumar, India, Rajesh Kumar is, when you look at this, let's say very well you are dealing with the same few customers only. In that case, very well, the Rajesh Kumar in India, only one person we are dealing with it. You are very sure. In that kind of scenario, what you will do is you can go and combine these three columns, first name, last name, country, with the combination of these three, if you see the same value, then something wrong. Rajesh Kumar, India, Rajesh Kumar, India. But the ID for the same person, two different ID got created, or these two persons are two different guys altogether. First of all, you need to check, do we have any duplicate records based on the three columns? You want to check it. Okay. So even after checking it, let's say somebody says, no, this guy is different from this guy. That's a different story altogether. But from your side, you want to make sure that you are dealing with, let's say hardly 5 to 6 customers. But you can see duplicate for Sundar Divya. Okay. But Sundar Divya, for first time, it assigned the unique key as a 4. But second and third time, it generated, since I've used the identity column, automatically generates different keys for this. Okay. In that case, what happens? The keys are unique, but the values are not unique for these three combination. How can I check this one? This is a scenario. Still, the duplicate records can get into a table. So how do I check this one? For this, what I do is I'm going to use a group by. Ideally, this topic should have been started, after explaining the group by. So with this logic, still explaining what is group by. Okay. What I am going to do is I'm going to say select. And here I just say first name. Any of this is not a case sensitive. Okay, what I'll do is name, first name, comma. Here, what I am going to do is count of star. Okay, before that, I will explain you what is count of star. Okay, I just write this query. Count of star will give you the number of records in a table. CNT count from employee 3. Next one is I'm going to use a group by. I'll explain all the things, don't worry, okay? And here I just use, we want to compare with the combination of 3 columns. The same, so multiple people can have the same name like Rajesh. But the multiple people with same first name, last name, and same country, and same branch, then it is a cause for the concern. We need to check it out, whether we need to check. If it is valid, then we can leave it as it is. If it is not valid, we need to address that. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine all the 3 columns in the group by. And then I just say country here. The country column is there here, okay? And then I just say having count of star 1. Count of star greater than 1. I just check this one. In this case, I just select these 3 things. And then I just select this data also. For our reference, okay? Select star from employee 3, go. And then here I just say go, so that we can compare both the queries output in the result window. I just select these 3 things. Okay, I just move this up and we will see what is happening here. And if you see the query here, this one gives me all the persons, okay, the employees ID, and then the first name, last name, country. Fine, everything is fine with this. We can see that there are some duplicates, but we are not sure whether it's a duplicate or not. The purpose of this one is, the scenario here is, the combination of these 3 columns have the same value, and if the combination of 3 columns values repeats more than one times, we need to check that one. Okay. The classic example is order ID, customer ID, and product ID. Order, let's say your order ID is, I'll explain with this example, okay? Let's say my order ID is my order ID, order ID, comma, my customer ID, the order transaction table, and then product ID is there. Product ID. In this order ID is 100 and customer ID is, let's A70 Ashok, something like that. Okay, product ID is, and let's say product ID is P001, and then the quantity, etc. Okay, quantity is, let's say you bought 2 items. Okay, and order ID can repeat because in the single order ID 100, he can order more than one product, right? So this guy in the same order ID can repeat here in this transaction table. Customer ID also can repeat the same thing because the same customer in the same order, he ordered more than one product, P002 and comma P002, another product. And this second product, P002, he ordered with 3 quantities. This is fine. But if I have something like this, is this correct? Is this correct? Order ID same, it can repeat. The customer also can repeat. Product ID, why it should repeat, right? Product, same product, why it has to repeat more than one time? The combination of order and customer ID in product ID, if you see here, 100 A70 P00, 100 A70 P00, there is a duplicate here. Okay, it should not be repeating it. The combination of these 3 columns, we can find out the duplicate value. This is the classic example. Okay, you just keep this, park this in your mind somewhere, and then look here. Okay, and here what happens with the combination of these 3 columns, we can see that there are some duplicates on that, and this query helps me to find out in each group can we have with these 3 group, right? Sorry, Rajesh Kumar, Mohan, Sundar. I create, so behind the scene, the group by, what it does is it creates the group. Which one? The group by creates the group for for the combination of these 3 values. So in this case, what happens? Group by, since I've used the group by based on the first name, last name, right? It combines these 3 things. Because the first name, last name, country, these values are same. All the similar values are grouped together. That is what is happening with that is what is happening by group by. And what about the other? So Mohan is not, we don't see any other record that are similar to Mohan Kumar USA. Hence, it creates another group. And next one, it says Sundar, Divya, UK. These 3 rows values for these 3 combination of, for these 3 rows, for these 3 combination of columns, we can see the duplicate here. So group by function, what it does is it groups the similar values based on the columns that you specified here. First name, last name, country. It goes and checks first name, last name, country. Across the rows, can we see any similar values? Yes, this row and this row, these 3 values are same. Hence, it groups this one. And second one, Mohan Kumar, you say it could not find any other record which have the Mohan Kumar USA. It groups it separately. And these 3 records, the 3 columns have the similar value. Hence, it groups these 3 values into single group. So 3 groups got created. Okay. So group 1, group 2, group 3. And what is having counter star? Having counter star is each group do if I have more than one value, then you return it. So yes, in this group 1, we have more than one record, right? So 2 records are there. And then, yeah, if you return any group which have more than one value in it. Which all group have more than one value? This group, right? The Rajesh have more than one value, more than one row. And then the Sundar, Divya have more than one value. So how many values are? 3. It counts the number of values, number of occurrences of the combination of these 3 values. In each group, it goes and checks. The condition we have given very clearly here. If the group has only one value, leave it. Anything more than one, if the group have in it, you give me the group name along with the number of occurrences of the rows. So here, Rajesh in this group, we have more than one record is there. Hence, it satisfies this condition. So the having clause, what it does is, it's kind of a where clause. The where clause on your grouped values. Where clause on your grouped. Can I use, see, after followed by the from clause, you specify the table name, and then you use the where clause. In this case, I did not use where clause. Let it be there. But group by, the having is also somewhat similar to your where clause only. Because, but having clause, you need to use it only with the group by. Remember that. Having clause, you have to use it along the group by only. Okay, I'll use having along the group by. So what does this having clause does? Followed by the having clause, you specify the condition. What are the conditions that you specify? That one will get applied on these grouped values only. So in this case, count of star. What is count of star? Will give me the number of records. So here the count of star gives number of records in each groups. And the first group, we have 2 values. Look here, 2 here. And then second group, we have only 1 value, but we have excluded that one. The condition says, hey, if any group has more than 1 record, you give me only that one. So this one has less than 1 record. Sorry, it is not greater than 1. Hence, it is not returning it here. The rest of the 2 records, rest of the 2 groups have more than 1 value in it, more than 1 rows. And also the counter star here, right? It gives me the, okay, if those groups have more than 1 records, you return those group name. Along with that, you tell me how many number of records are there in those groups. In this group, 2 records are there. 1, 2. In this group, 1, 2, 3 records are there. Group, good. With this, we are able to identify in group 1 and third group, duplicate records are there. How many duplicates are there in each record? The first record, we have 2 records. So how many records? Yeah, first group, we have 2 records. And then the third one, we have 3 records in it. Okay, very good. Now, with this query, I'm able to find out duplicate records and the number of occurrences. We can see it here. Okay, what is the next step now? What is the next step now? The next step is I wanted to remove the duplicate records. I wanted to remove the duplicate records. So in this one, for example, I can remove this record. If in this group, if I remove this guy, sorry. In this group, if I remove this guy, this record, you will have only 1 record, right? In this group, if I remove these 2 guys, so you are going to have only 1 record. This is in this group 1 record, in this group 1 record, in this group 1 record. This way, we can make sure that we have, we have only 1 records are available in each group. Okay, and but how do I remove this record and all? See the Sundar and but in the second group I don't have to remove anything, right? Because we have only 1 record is there. The combination of these 3 we can see only 1. But here Sundar and Divya I need to remove it, and Sundar and Divya I need to remove it. The first record, but I need to retain only this one here, and here it is like this. How do I do that one? What logic can I use it? For this, what I am going to do is, I'm going to write a query wherein in each group, I wanted to find out the maximum value. What is the maximum value in this group? Can you all type it in the chat window? What is the maximum value? What is the maximum ID here? If I find out the maximum ID here, in this group only 3, right? Because we have only 1 value. Okay, hence it is 3. But in this group, if I take the maximum on the ID column, the second one, right? First one will not come, second record. If I take the maximum on the ID column, in this group, only 1 record will come. In this group, only 1 record will come. Because in this group, obviously, we have only 1 value here, only 1 row. Only one ID is there. But if you see this row, in this group, we have 3 IDs are there. So these three rows are duplicated. But in this, how do I exclude this one? If I take the maximum on this ID column, it will take only this one. If I take the maximum on the ID column, we can retain only one record. This way we can exclude the duplicate records. Are you able to follow me or not? Smartly we are doing it. Okay, the next step is I just go here. How do I exclude the duplicate? How do I take the max? Where can I use the maximum function now? So what I do is I just say select star from employee 3 where ID not in. Take all the IDs from my employee table, and then what you do is you find out those IDs are not matching with the max of IDs. That way you can get the duplicate records. Okay. Let me do one thing. Not ID. When I write, I'll show you the output so that you'll be able to understand. I'm doing it slightly in different way. And here, what I do is in the interest of time. Okay, I'll just try to select max of ID, because if I take the max of ID, you understood, right? The logic which I explained it, that one will help you to smartly exclude the duplicate records. And here I just use employee 3, employee 3. And then the next line, I just use group by. And again, I'm going to use as the first name and last name, everything, okay? Because that combination of those 3 columns only, we can find out the duplicate record, last name. And then the next one is the country. We are done. And then I just, let me see if this query works fine or not. I just go ahead and select go here. I just type go here. And then I'm going to explain, run all the 3 queries so that in the result window, we can compare everything here. So the second query helps us to find out how many number of occurrences of duplicate records are there with respect to the combination of first name, last name, and country. In Rajesh, 2 records are there. In Sundar, 3 records are there. Whereas in the case of Mohan, we don't see any duplicate. Fine, very good. And then the second one, what I did, the max of ID, I'm using it here in the inner query. Okay, this is your inner query. The inner query, the max of ID, what it gives us is, it gives you the maximum is 2, right? The second one is 2. So in this case, what value it will fetch? I just give a tick mark next to the second. In this group, 3. And then in this one, what's the max of ID? 6. Only this record and this record will be fetched with this inner query. Fetched by this inner query. Okay, and these 3 records. Now what I'm doing in the outer query is, except these 2, 3, 6, whatever the records are there, those are my duplicate records. You select the duplicate records. So this one will give me, the inner query will give me the unique records. Okay. But what I'm doing is smartly in the outer query, whatever the maximum IDs you have selected here, except the maximum ID, rest of the values you return it. So in that case, 145. That 145, we need to remove it. Are you able to understand? So that is what in third output, Mohan should come, right, sir? What is that? You are saying third output? Oh, here, huh? Okay. No, that is what I'm explaining now. In the third output, what he says is Mohan should come. Mohan will not come. But if you use this query, you will get it, Mohan. You understood, right? See, you do not understand. I will do one thing. I'll just execute the query, inner query separately. Sometimes you need to break your query into smaller pieces so that you will be able to. Now, this query tell me what values it will return. Let me see how many of you can understand. What all the IDs will be written by this query? In the first two, all of you please type in the chat window. In this first two records, what is the maximum ID here? In this record, we have only one record here. The maximum ID is this one only, right? And in these three records, what is the maximum ID? This one, and this one, and this one are the maximum ID. So 2, 3, 6 should come. But if I exclude 2, 3, 6, okay, if I, let's say, if I delete this one, what will happen? We are left with 1, 4, 5. That is what I'm getting it here. If you strike out the maximum ID records, we are left with 1, 4, 5. Are you able to understand now? Please concentrate here. That is what I'm doing it now here. So now the reason why I'm doing is, this is the query. This is the query. I'm going to use it in my delete statement. Delete statement, what it does is, it will remove those records are not having the maximum ID. In that case, we are smartly excluding the Sundar 4, 5 IDs and then 1. I just show you now. The final delete statement, what it does is, it will remove the 1, 4, 5. For example, if it removes 1, 4, 5, what are you left with? So here you have the unique record, duplicates, you removed it, and you have non-duplicate values. Mohan Kumar is not duplicated, right? Rajesh is not duplicated in this case because we removed the duplicates. We are left with 2, 3, 6. Okay, but 2, 3, 6, how did I get it? How will I get it? Only when I delete this. See, if I put this, if I use the subquery in my delete statement, what it does is, it is going to remove 1, 4, 5. Before removing it, before deleting it, I want to check whether it is going to remove the duplicate record. I have used the select star. Instead of, see here, I can use delete directly. If you use the delete, what will happen is, it will remove the duplicate records, right? It will excluding the maximum IDs. What are the maximum IDs? 6, 3 in this group, and then in this group 2, excluding 6, 3, 2 ID. Okay, and if I put, instead of the select star, from, if I put delete employee 3, delete from employee 3, where ID not in. But before deleting it, I want to check whether it is going to delete the maximum ID 1. The ID 1, 4, 5, not maximum. Okay, the ID 1, 4, 5. Yes, it is going to, if I put in the place of select star from, if I put delete from, it is going to remove the duplicate records. You understood or not? Chandra, now we are able to understand. Mohan, how will it come? It will not come, right? Yes, Nandini was able to understand. Okay, Jamal was able to understand. Good. So how about others? So this is in the logic, you can write your own logic also. This is the logic I try to find out. So in this one, I have used the group by first name, last name, and the three countries. So when you do the group by, what happens is, it creates a group based on the combination of these three columns in your table, which means group by is nothing but similar values. It groups the similar values with the combination of these three columns. If I use first name and last name alone, what will happen? It groups the records based on the values that are in first name and last name only. In this case, in addition to that, I'm using country also. In this case, what happens is, it creates three groups here behind the scene. Okay, behind the scene. If Mohan is not repeating in Mohan, Kumar, USA, can you see any other record? Nothing. Hence, there are no similar records are available. Hence, it put us in a separate group. And these three guys all the similar values are put it in a separate group. These two values are similar. These two records are similar. I put it in group 1. This one, we don't see any other duplicate records. Hence, it is separate group. And these three are similar. Hence, it is put in other bucket, or put. You just think instead of group, you just say that it's a bucket or group, whatever. This one is in group 1, and this is in group 2, and this is in group 3. So what I do is I wanted to check, do I have any duplicate records with the combination of these 3 columns? If yes, you tell me those groups where I have duplicate records, how many number of duplicate records are there? Okay, or how many number of records are there in the records which have more than one similar record in it? Rajesh Kumar, Rajesh, right? We have 2 records are there. It gives me the count 2. And Sundar, we have 3 records are there. It gives me the count. The count function gives the number of records that are there in each group, in this case. Okay. And in this group, we have only 1 because we have used count of star is greater than 1. Hence, it simply ignores this one because we are very particular about those groups that have more than 1 record. These 2 groups have more than 1 record. This is what our cause for the concern. And in this group, how many number of records are? Yes, 2. In this group, how many? 3. Now, what is the objective now? What are we going to do next? Either you need to remove the second record or you need to remove the first record. In this case, either you need to remove the last record and then, either you need to keep the last record in this group, remove the first one. Keep the last record, remove the previous 2 records. Okay, how do I do that? Okay, tell me one thing. If I remove these 2 records in this group, how many rows are there in this group? Only 1 row, right? And if I remove, for example, if I remove this first record, how many rows are there in group 1? Madhavi, only 1 row. In this group, I'm going to have only 1 row in this group. How do I remove these rows? How do I remove these rows? In order to remove these rows, I need to take the maximum on this column ID. ID is a numeric column. If you take the maximum, what will happen? 6, 3, 2. In this group, these 2 records, we look at the IDs. This is the maximum value, right? In this one, the maximum is 3 because we have only 1 value here. In this 3 record, the ID is maximum is 6. So smartly we are doing is we are using a logic in such a way, find out the maximum ID in each group. Okay. And then you keep it in a separate table or something like that. Okay. And then what you do is take the entire ID values from this table and go and check it in the other table or other thing. Okay. And the 2, 3, 6. This is the maximum, right? 6 is the maximum for this group. And in this group, the maximum is 3. In this group, the maximum is 2. Keep it separately. Now, what I do is I'm going to use a not in smartly. When you take all the IDs and not in this one, exclude 2, 3, 6, you will get the duplicate records. Look here, 4 and 5 comes from the third group. And then the first record, the ID 1 is 1 record. So these are the duplicate records. So what we are doing is we are storing the max of ID related records in somewhere. And then what happens is we are using not in. And then what we take all the IDs from this table and check 1 is there here. No, then you return it. 1 is not in. Okay. If I say 1 instead of not, if I put in here, 1 is in here. No, it will return false, right? It will return false. Not in, yes, 1 is not there here, hence it is true, return 1. And 3 is not in, no, it is there, hence don't return it, okay? And 4 is not in, yes, it is not there, 4 is not there, hence it is true, return 4. And 5 is not there here, hence return 5. For example, 3 is not there here, no, right? It is there. Hence, the condition is false. 3 is in 3, but not in 3 is false. Hence, it is not pulling this record. Okay. 2 is not in, false. Okay. 1 is not in. Yes, it is not there here, which means true. Hence, return 1. And 4 is not there here. It is true return. The 5 is not there, return 5, the record 5. This is how the logic I have written it. With this logic, I'm able to filter out all the duplicate records. Okay, that is what this select statement does. That is what this select. Now my job is simple. Next, what I do is I copy paste this query. The select star from what in the select star, I remove it. I put delete. The delete from employee 3, what will happen is it will remove these 3 records. Now you tell me what are the records we are going to have it. Delete from. Delete from. Now we are going to left with the 6, 7, 8. 1, 4, 5 records. We are going to delete it. If I delete it, and then if I query this table, select star from employee 3, this 2, 3, 6 record only will be there. Select star from employee 3. 2, 3, 6, correct? We have removed the 1, 4, 5 records, right? So in this group, in this record, right, we removed the maximum ID 1. Sorry, the ID 1. ID 1 related record, we removed it. In this case, we removed it, the 4 and 5 ID records. So we are left with no more duplicate. If you see the combination of these 3, first name, last name, Rajesh Kumar India appears only one time. Mohan Kumar appears only one time. Sundar Divya UK appears only one time. Hence, there are no duplicate records with the combination of these 3. This is how you can eliminate. So how do I find out the duplicate records? In the interview, they'll ask you. Not only the interview, even the real-time scenario, you need to check this. Do we have any duplicate records? But, with the combination of which column we can find out the duplicate records, you need to understand from the customer or from the document. So this query helps me to, retrieve the duplicate records. Okay, and then one second, this one I put. This query helps me to retrieve the duplicate records. Before we deleting the record, we want to check what are the duplicate records. And then we replace the select with delete. It removes all the duplicate records, whatever, the retrieved by this query, right? Okay, you got it? Fine. So this query is, I just executed the, this query will give you in each group how many number of records are there. Basically, we have 3 groups. In first group and third group, we have more than one record. Knowing more than one record is not sufficient. And each group, how many records are there? So in the first group, we found 2 records. Third group, we found 3 records. Okay. In the third group, we are supposed to retain only 1 record. We have 2 more records are there. In the first group, we are supposed to remove 1 record and we need to keep only 1 record. How do I do it? That's where the max function comes into our rescue. Okay, the max function is really helpful to find out the maximum ID from the table. In that case, obviously, maximum will return only 1 value, right? In each row, in each group, we retain that one. And then smartly what we did, do a lookup on all the ID column into my the max of ID values. By using not in operator, we are simply excluding. So we are simply retrieving the duplicate records. With that duplicate using delete function, we remove this one. This is a very straightforward one. You understood, right? It's already now. It is, what is the time now? It's at 10 o'clock. Sorry, I took much of your time. 8:20, 9:10. Okay. So I have compensated the break which I took it, right, in between. Okay, guys. So what I will do is, without fail, tomorrow I'll send you. Even I have some office call because some auditing is going on. Let me do one thing. We need to cut this and